Hello, throughout history, people have marveled at the moon, writing poems and singing songs about it. Some cultures even revered it as a glowing pearl hanging in the sky, untouchable and out of reach. But in 1969, the United States announced that a mission had successfully landed on the moon, sparking debates worldwide. This monumental event raised questions and ideas. Why don't we as humans go to the moon, live there, and build settlements? Why not have new homes beyond Earth? What's stopping us from claiming new lands and expanding into the vast space? This monumental event raised questions and ideas. Why don't we as humans go to the moon, live there, and build settlements? Why not have new homes beyond Earth? What's stopping us from claiming new lands and expanding into the vast space? However, if we think about it for a moment, it's not as simple as it seems. As far as we know, the moon lacks the essentials we're used to: food, water, oxygen, an atmosphere, and even suitable gravity. So how could we settle in place missing all these fundamental necessities? Still, with the scientific and technological advancements we've achieved today, could we find solutions for colonizing the moon? Or is it truly impossible, even with the technology at our disposal? Welcome to the Ask Away channel. Today we're answering the question, why can't we live on the moon? Before we dive in, if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll always catch our latest videos as soon as they drop. Let's start with logical question. Why are scientists even looking for a place other than Earth to settle? The answer lies in a few key points. The primary reason, according to the scientific community, is to ensure the survival of humanity. One day, Earth could face destruction due to natural disasters or even human-caused catastrophes. For example, all the nuclear weapons on Earth could accidentally or intentionally detonate at the same time, or a massive asteroid could collide with the planet, wiping out humanity. These possibilities have driven scientists to consider spreading humanity beyond Earth, ensuring that humans are not confined to a single location. Having a presence in other places would increase our chances of survival as a species. From an economic perspective, this idea also makes sense. Earth's natural resources are limited. If humans could establish connection between Earth and other locations, they could tap into enormous resources found elsewhere. But the key question remains: what is the ideal place for humans to settle and create new colonies? To this day, despite the scientific community's dream of colonizing space, we haven't found location that's 100% suitable for life. Every potential place for colonization or settlement lacks essential resources. Even the moon, our closest celestial neighbor, surprisingly turns out to be one of the most challenging places to colonize. The moon's harsh environment presents numerous problems that are difficult for humans to endure or adapt to. These conditions make the idea of colonizing it and establishing settlements there incredibly tough to achieve. One of the biggest challenges humans could face on the moon is the extreme temperatures. On Earth, when temperatures rise or fall by just 2 or 3 degrees, people feel the need to escape their homes or even their country. So imagine living in a place where temperatures can change by up to 200 degrees Celsius. This isn't just science fiction. It's the reality of the moon's environment. Temperatures on the moon can reach 120 to 240 deg during the day and drop to chilling 230 to 382 deg at night. But that's not the only issue. The day and night cycles on the moon last about 14 Earth days each, meaning if you're on the moon during the day, you'll experience 14 continuous days of sunlight before the night sets in. Such violent temperature swings are impossible for the human body to endure. The only solution would involve creating special heat-resistant environments, from insulated housing and transportation to protective suits that people would need to wear all the time. And here's tricky question. How would you even use the bathroom wearing such suit? It's a tough problem to solve, and it highlights just how challenging life on the moon could be. Secondly, the moon lacks an atmosphere, which creates two major challenges for humans on its surface. A first issue is cosmic radiation. Humans on the moon would be constantly exposed to harmful cosmic rays, including ultraviolet radiation and other dangerous types of radiation. Additionally, solar storms occasionally strike the moon's surface. All this radiation has the potential to cause severe illnesses, even life-threatening ones. The second problem is meteorite collisions. The moon is one of the celestial bodies most exposed to impacts from rocks and meteors. If you look closely at the moon's surface, you'll notice it's covered in craters everywhere. Most of the dark spots visible on the moon, even with the naked eye, are the result of these continuous impacts. This happens because the moon doesn't have protective shield like Earth's atmosphere to guard it against meteors and shooting stars. This lack of protection makes the moon far more hazardous place for humans to inhabit. Imagine sitting in your tiny house on the moon, which cost you A modest $1 billion to build only to have a rock come crashing down and flatten the house and everything inside it. Naturally, you're not one to give up easily. With the resilience and determination that define humanity, you go ahead and build another house for $1 billion. But once you finish, another rock comes along and wipes out the second house too. Unfortunately, in this scenario, no amount of determination will help because the number of rocks and meteors in space far exceeds the money you have, or even all the money humanity collectively possesses, so you might as well save yourself the stress. If meteor destroys your house, just accept it, find cozy corner on the moon's surface, and settle down there instead. One of the most well-known features of the moon is its gravity, which is about 1/6 of Earth's gravity. At first, people might find low gravity amusing, imagining themselves bouncing around freely, feeling light, and leaping several meters at a time. It sounds like fun on the surface, doesn't it? However, the reality is far from that. Prolonged exposure to low gravity environments, like on the moon, has serious consequences for the human body. It negatively affects muscles and bones, causing them to weaken over time. Additionally, it impacts the nervous system and even disrupts heart functions. These effects can lead to severe health issues, and in extreme cases, even death. This makes low gravity far more dangerous challenge than it may initially appear. Since we're planning to live on the moon, we'd need to build settlements there, including homes, hospitals, schools, roads, and power generators. However, the reality is that building on the moon would be extremely challenging. The moon's surface is entirely covered by a layer of crushed rock made up of fragmented stones, minerals, glass, and debris. This layer was formed by the constant bombardment of rocks and tiny particles hitting the moon. It's found everywhere and extends to great depths. Additionally, the moon is full of dark low-lying areas made of ancient volcanic lava from eruptions that happened thousands of years ago. These factors make the moon's soil unsuitable for construction, not to mention it's also unfit for agriculture. In short, a new home has soil that isn't good for building or growing anything, making settlement a significant challenge. When discussing the idea of space colonization, our top priority should be finding a location that naturally offers as many human necessities as possible. For example, a place with good soil and an atmosphere is unquestionably better than one without. If the location also has water and oxygen, it becomes even more ideal. All of this would drastically lower the cost of colonization. Speaking of the moon, statistics show that building a small base there to accommodate just 10 people would cost a staggering $10 million. This is just to provide them with the basic necessities that the moon lacks. That's an enormous amount of money for only 10 individuals. Now imagine if we wanted to send 1 million people, or even the entire human population. The scale and cost make the idea virtually impossible. In conclusion, fully colonizing the moon is an extremely challenging idea due to its high costs and the obstacles we've mentioned. However, this doesn't mean that space colonization in general is impossible. Even the idea of colonizing the moon remains open as scientists continue to explore solutions to these challenges. Some proposals suggest building settlements inside tunnels beneath the moon's surface, while others recommend constructing strong glass domes that would shield humans from meteors, harmful radiation, and extreme temperatures. These glass domes would be filled with oxygen, allowing people to live inside them without needing to wear spacesuits all the time. But for now, all these solutions are purely scientific theories and remain untested. And that wraps up today's answer to the question, why can't we live on the moon? If you're new to the channel, this is where we tackle all kinds of questions that might pop into your mind. As always, if there's a question that's been puzzling you, drop it in the comments.